Metayage. The metayage system is the cultivation of land for a proprietor by one who receives a proportion of the produce, as a kind of sharecropping. Another class of land tenancy in France is named fermage, whereby the rent is paid annually in banknotes. A farm operating under metayage was known as a métairie, the origin of some place names in areas where the system was used, such as Metairie, Louisiana. Origin and function. Localities. The system was once universal in certain provinces of Italy and France, and survived there in places until the end of the 19th century. Similar systems formerly existed in Portugal, Castile, and in Greece, and in the countries bordering on the Danube. It is tracked to this day in statistics of the European Commission. Metayage was used in French colonies, particularly after the demise of slavery. Also, because of its utility, metayage spread to nearby British colonies such as Nevis, St. Lucia, and Tobago. It still occurs in former French possessions, particularly in Madagascar. In the Congo, the system is used in the vicinity of Kahuzi-Biega National Park as a means to protect the natural environment. In Mexico, the system is used in animal husbandry. The term metayage is also applied to modern-day flexible cash leases, at least in the nominally common law Canadian province of Ontario, and in 2006 in all of Canada. 13,030 farms, occupying 2,316,566 were counted by Statistics Canada. The same study of metayage found 2,489 farms covering 1,873 in Ontario. The system was useful in Quebec for most agricultural properties at least as far back as the year 1800, and is still tracked statistically by value in Quebec as lawyer en espèces et à la part agriculture. It appears to benefit from favorable tax treatment in Canada, where it is known as sharecropping. In forestry, metayage is the subject of a Government of Canada infosheet and socio-economic report, and has been the subject in Quebec of recent scholarly research. Criticism. British writers were unanimous in condemning the metayage system until John Stuart Mill adopted a different tone. They judged it by its appearance in France, where under the ancient regime all direct taxes were paid by the métayage, with the noble landowner being exempt. With the taxes being assessed according to the visible produce of the soil, they operated as penalties upon productiveness. Under this system, a métayage could fancy that his interest lay less in exerting himself to augment the total share to be divided between himself and his landlord, and instead be encouraged to defraud the latter part of his rightful share. This was partly due to the métayage's relative state of destitution, and with the fixed duration of his tenure, without which the metayage could not prosper. French métayages, in Arthur Young's time, were removable at pleasure, and obliged to conform in all things to the will of their landlords, and so in general they so remained. In 1600, the landlord Olivier de Serres wrote Le Théâtre de l'Agriculture, which recommends metayage as cash tenants took all the risks, so would demand lower rent while hired labor was expensive to manage. Simon de Sismondi expressed dissatisfaction in 1819 with the institution of metayage because it reinforced the poverty of the peasants and prevented any social or cultural development. Yet, even in France, although metayage and extreme rural poverty usually coincided, there were provinces where the contrary was the case, as it also was in Italy, especially on the plains of Lombardy. Metayage, in order to be in any measure worthy of commendation, must be a genuine partnership. Wherever this applied, the results of metayage appeared to be as eminently satisfactory, as they were decidedly the reverse wherever the landlords held themselves aloof.